everybody, and welcome to another edition of the MavLife Sports Report. I'm Keith Demolder, here with my co-anchor Connor Hines. We have a special CIF wrap-up edition for you. Connor, what do we have on the show today?
Thanks, Keith. We've got a whole bunch of sports to cover today. A lot of the fall season CIF sports wrapping up their action before the Thanksgiving holiday. Let's get into it first with girls varsity volleyball and their CIF run. En route to their finals appearance, they defeated Valhalla, La Jolla Country Day, and Eastlake High Schools. Unfortunately, they were not able to pull out the win in the finals against the Point Loma Pointers, finishing their season with a 22-8 record. A big congrats to the girls varsity team this season.
The girls varsity field hockey team came into the CIF Division II playoffs as the number 2 seed. They had a bye in the first round and came back and beat the Valley Center Jaguars by a score of 3-0. In the third round, they played the Cathedral Catholic Dons and won 2-1. Sophomore Madison Theodore and junior Mackenzie Peterson had both of the Mavs goals off of 2 Nina Randolph assists. The Mavs' luck ran out there as they were defeated 3-0 in the championship game against Sarah High School.
En route to their first ever CIF championship appearance, the boys varsity water polo team defeated Valhalla and Granite Hills on their way. They took on rival Carlsbad High in the Division I CIF final, but were defeated by a score of 11-8. The Mavs were leading by 1 goal going into the fourth period, but allowed the Lancers to come back and score 5 goals. Coach John Span's varsity squad finishes their regular season with a 19-11 record.
And finally, the varsity football team took on Grossmont in the second round of the CIF Division I playoffs. Coming into the playoffs, they had the number 1 seed and home field advantage throughout. They took on the Grossmont Foothillers and won by a score of 47-28. They were initially down but were never truly out. The Mavs tied the score at halftime and scored 17 unanswered points in the third quarter. They ended up winning by 19 points at the end of it. Duke Mackel had 4 rushing touchdowns, and Colin Nishioka intercepted a pass late in the second half and returned it for a big defensive touchdown. Connor, what did you see from the Mavs on Friday?
Yeah, Keith, like you said, quarterback Duke Mackel with the 4 rushing touchdowns really stepping it up, contributing big to that win against Grossmont. Also, the defense stepping up their game in the second half, not allowing Grossmont to really score anymore, and able to get that 47-28 win on Friday.
Yeah, great win by the Mavs. Now let's take a listen to some of the audio. I talked with some of the players after the game, including Coach Sean Sovacool. Let's listen to that audio right now.
Coming into the game, you knew that Grossmont had a high-power offense. How do you think this defense played tonight?
We played really well. We let some things get away from us early, and I think played the pressure a little bit, maybe a little anxious to start. And then as soon as we settled down, guys started doing their job. We played good team football and kept them under wraps pretty well. They averaged 44 points a game. Kept them to 28, really less than that with the botch fake field goal thing. It kept them to half the points typically score, and that's a great effort.
How do you think penalties had a factor in this game?
A huge factor. Those guys play with a lot of emotion, too much of it. They do. And we preached to our kids all week about that's what it was going to be like. It wasn't a secret that those guys were going to be really ornery and aggressive. And our kids, for the most part, I feel, did a great job of not responding.
Gotcha. What did you see from Duke Mackel tonight?
Duke Mackel's a leader. He's a leader of our team. He's a captain of our team. He's one of the toughest football players in the county.
How do you feel the running game did tonight? I know there was a lot of different looks from different players.
It was excellent. It was a great team effort. A lot of guys did a great job carrying the ball. We had the one fumble, which you don't like, but it can happen. And outside of that, I think it was the only turnover of the game on offense. But it was a line of scrimmage. It starts with the big guys up front. We got one of the best offensive lines in San Diego.
All right, so we're here with Corey Morris. Corey, what do you have to say about the game?
It's great to get that playoff win. Only got 3 games we got to win to get to that CIF. Only got 2 more. It's great. It's great. Featuring Tommy Carey. Yeah, but we got the job done tonight. Dropped the season high in points. The offense was fire on all cylinders. So it was great to see that, and we're just gonna keep pushing forward.
What did you see there from Duke tonight?
Duke had a great game passing and running the ball. You know, he's been a little down throwing, and I'm glad to see he's getting his confidence back at the right time.
How good was this defense tonight for you guys?
Our defense started out slow, but it was okay because, you know, they picked up their stuff in the back end. Secondary turned on late in the game. Colin had that pick six, turned the game around, got us momentum. You know, they did a great job in finishing this game, so proud of them.
You guys were tied 21-21 at the half. What was the difference going into the second half?
You know, we just had a lot of momentum, and we didn't execute in the red zone late in that half, and then we just came out and, you know, we did our job running the ball down their throat. You know, we knew we were going to battle up front and win that, so we just kept pushing the ball and we got in the end zone.
Coming into this game, what did you expect from Grossmont?
We knew they had a great offense. We saw their defense as a weakness, and we showed it tonight. Dropped 47 points, like we said, and you know we did exactly what we said we were going to do. We had 2 weeks to prepare for this game, and you know we're the most prepared. These were the most prepared weeks we had, so it was great to see that as well.
After a big win against Grossmont, the Mavs took on the Madison Warhawks in the third round of the CIF Division I playoffs. The Mavs lost, however, by a score of 49-34. In the game, the Mavs struggled defensively, failing to contain quarterback Kareem Coles as he rushed and passed for multiple touchdowns on the night. Him and starting running back Isaiah Osborne ended up combining for most of Madison's points. The big story of the night, though, was sophomore wide receiver Elijah Thomas as he caught for 2 touchdowns and big yardage against LCC. Kareem Coles and Isaiah Osborne both had 2 rushing touchdowns apiece. As well, Shaheed Madian, the sophomore receiver from Madison, had a great game receiving. For the Mavericks, though, running back Dustin Laubacher rushed for a 15-yard touchdown and returned a 95-yard kickoff return late in the fourth quarter. The 15-point deficit in the fourth ended up being a little bit too much for the Mavs as they lost 49-34 in the third round.
Before we wrap up today's show, we want to make sure we get around to the first scores of this year's winter season sports. First, let's get to girls varsity basketball, who lost their season opener on Saturday to Horizon Christian Academy 60-43. They went on to play West Hills, winning by a score of 65-28. Senior Rachel Dumiak led the Mavs with 19 points. Fellow senior and Idaho commit Taylor Pierce was second behind Dumiak with 15 points of her own. The Mavs take on University City Wednesday at 7 p.m.
The girls varsity water polo team started their regular season this week and lost to Carlsbad High School 20-4 at home. On Thursday, they will take on Otay Ranch in Chula Vista at 3 p.m.
The boys varsity basketball team opened their season against the Sonora High School Raiders, ended up winning the game by a score of 70-68 as senior forward Travis Fuller led the team in points with 21 and made 64% of his shots and 60% of his 3-point shots on the night. As well, seniors Tommy McCarthy and Brady Twombly were great, adding 19 and 20 points respectively. Twombly led the team with 10 rebounds as junior Jack McNulty was a big presence off the bench, blocking 4 shots and pulling down 7 boards on the night. Lastly, we want everyone to know that winter sports coverage is right around the corner on MavLife Sports Radio. Our first winter broadcast scheduled for December 10th live from the gym as the Mavs take on the Escondido High Cougars for girls varsity basketball. Should be a good one. And remember to follow at MavLife Sports on Twitter for all the updates.
As always, we'd like to thank you for joining us here on the MavLife Sports Report. For MavLife Sports, I'm Keith Demolder.
And I'm Connor Hines.
Thanks.